Thought I would liven stuff up. Oh, yeah. And the EVS operator, he's got his honeymoon tomorrow. Tomorrow. Got to wrap this up.
Did Thomas Lamache tell the players at the table that was the case before they started? Should just give them an end time. So look, we've got a member of the crew, got to be out of here at a certain time. So basically, if you're not done by that time, we're going to bring a box of matches, and whoever picks the long one wins.
He said that if the players go on too long, he's going to take little Thomas and put it at the table. Just to put a little of the old bejesus in everybody.
So Alain tries the Guerrero tactic of raising any two. However, Monsieur Guerrero has a hand.
Guerrero is going to try the other Guerrero tactic of just having the best hand. It's kind of one of his go-to things in his arsenal. Just, you know, having a good hand. Underrated. Matthias asks, what happened 2 years ago? Matthias, last year, 2 years ago, his final table is still being played.
There's the 3-bet from Guerrero. A re-raise to 850,000. I have to say, I do enjoy it when you've got like one or two players at a final table who are short stacked, and then suddenly some massive pre-flop leveling war breaks out between the two big stacks.
Yeah, but that ain't happening here.
Yeah, I guess it's an easy fold for Alain. Tried, failed, next. And the question Steve Mark should be asking himself, by the way, is why was I not watching 2 years ago? I'll give you a very good reason, actually, Steve, because it was an 18-hour final table and it was awful.
You're gonna feel real bad when you find out that 2 years ago he was in a coma.
Oh, he was watching the final table.
I was in a coma during it.
Oh, here we go.
Wow,
I knew it.
I was wrong. I was dead wrong.
Alain decides he's going to make a stand with his 9-6 of diamonds and 4 bets to 1.8 million.
Jimmy's throwing up in his mouth.
Meanwhile, Jason Seagull says, I hope I'm never playing at a table where somebody decides to put their little Thomas on the table. Unlikely that Guerrero folds here, but do you think we see a 5th bet, or do you think he calls, bearing in mind that he's going to be out of position without the betting lead?
I don't know, man. Like,
it should have been 5-6.
As I was saying, Alain's the only one he has like incentive to play a post-flop pot with. But he's made some pretty tight laydowns pre-flop.
Oh, the ace-10, yeah.
I just wonder what his image of Alain is. Because I would be like, everyone's playing so tight here. He's probably playing tight. Maybe ace-queen's like not that hot here. That's why being out of position, I said it before, I'll say it sucks. Because if you're in position, you can call. But I guess the choice is 5-bet. Too strong to fold. Don't really want to call out of position in a massive pot. If you 5-bet, your opponent really can't play back at you with nothing. I mean, they can. They can pull the pin, but their hands are going to be weighted toward really, really having it if they do that, because you're the only player that can bust them. Over 2 minutes on this decision. Understandable, by the way. They did call. Okay.
So they are going to play a flop with 3.8 million near enough in the middle. All hearts. Jack 10-4. So flush draw, gut shot for Guerrero. Nothing for Alan to get excited about, and if he tries to fire at this, I think he's getting called at least on the flop.
Yeah, this is a situation where Alan's going to have to double barrel at the very least. This is just a sickening prospect of having the continuation bet this flop, too. The good news is you don't have to c-bet that much. But I just think that this board's going to hit the range of Guerrero's big blind calling range so often. Like that you're not going to get a fold very often on the flop. Yeah, 1.5 million. A little less than half the pot. Guerrero definitely has to call once.
Yeah. So assuming it's a blank on the turn, can Alan find another bet? And will it work? It is a blank. 4 of clubs pairs the board. Guerrero quickly checks.
I mean, it depends. Do you think that you can get your opponent to fold a big heart?
And we also have to be aware that Alan, the effective stack here, has less than pot. He checks behind. And now the third 4 hits the river. Guerrero is checked for a third time.
I think we know that a bomb's very likely to work, but not a super convincing story.
Yes, he shoves river with just 9 high. Well, if Guerrero heroes with ace high, which is still the best hand, Alan will be eliminated and Guerrero will have an absolute stranglehold on the tournament. This is a gutsy move.
I mean, it's crazy polarizing. Because you have to think to yourself, what super strong hands is he checking back turn with?
Jason Seagull tweets, Alan, more like all in, am I right?
I mean, you'd think that if he had a jack, he'd probably bet the turn to charge a heart to draw.
Only 6 combo, yeah. Kings or aces, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. And then big pocket pairs. Because you don't expect him to have a single jack that often anyway because of the way it went pre-flop. I guess he could check back jacks on the turn when he boats up. But I think it's a pretty narrow range of hands that are value betting this river.
We've been in this situation before, though, where we've seen these bold bluffs at EPT final tables, and the longer that Guerrero thinks about it, the more inclined he is to fold.
I'm a genius or stupid.
That's what it comes down to in these situations. Genius or idiot.
You asked earlier on, Joe, are they going to start playing poker again? Jane points out, I guess the real poker started now.
I do like this comment from Rystacks on Twitch. He says he could also be running into ace-king and lose. It's one thing he's got to consider. He's not beating every bluff.
3,500,000, yeah? Huh?
Lost Picasso says he loses to ace-king, any pair, any two hearts. He's not really worried about two hearts, and I don't think he's worried about most pairs, because most pairs can't really make this move.
Yeah.
Goa TV says, holy bleep, if he calls, I'm becoming French. James, you called it. Pre-flop leveling war. River leveling war.
Didn't expect it to quite go down like this. Kind of expected Guerrero to put the 5-bet in pre and for the hand to be over, but no, we went to the flop.
Escalation nation.
Just got more interesting on every single street, and now Guerrero finds himself with this huge decision to be a hero or not to be a hero. Seen an amazing bet. Can we see an amazing call? Apologizes to the rest of the table for taking his time over this decision, but every second he spent is valid.
If there's one thing Twitch is certain of, is that he will either call or fold. But they are dead sure of it.
$5,600,000, yeah?
You know he doesn't get in this position, by the way, if he just 5-bets before the flop.
Maybe you get, yeah.
John says if Guerrero calls, I'm quitting poker because it's a level I'll never reach. Steve says it takes real balls to do that in this spot, and shorter stacks on the table and big pay jumps. Looks like he's folding. It would be the hero call of the tournament, Steve Mark. But after 4.5 minutes.
When you make this bluff and he picks up his cards, how do you not jump out of your skin? How do you not freak the F out?
Now we're coming up on 5 minutes on this tank.
Bluff me. Maybe you got the zapping.
Please don't talk to me.
Should point out these guys know each other really well. They know each other's games really well. And that will be a factor in Guerrero's decision.
Ooh, who called time?
For a moment, I thought Guerrero called the clock on himself.
Danny asked, Guerrero go or Guerrero no?
It's amazing with what I talk. I'm a genius or a stupid.
That's what you said 5 minutes and 40 seconds ago.
If you asked me that, I would just go, I don't know.
C'est sûr que tu bluffes, putain, c'est sûr et certain. T'as pas d'évaluer.
Oh, God, this is so tense. Oh, man.
Kate's counting him down.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Oh, he's got chips in his hand. He's got his cards in his hand.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
He is folded by virtue of the clock running out.
That bluff was sick.
C'est sûr et certain.
Alan wins the pot.
Much credit for even thinking about it that long with ace queen high.
Ouais, je te jure. Ouais. Ouais, je sais, il bluffe. Je sais, bluff, j'ai as-dame. Je sais. J'ai pas les coups de payer, je sais que tu bluffes. J'ai failli te payer. Hein. C'est à 2 doigts. Hein. Ah, je sais que tu bluffes.
Да, если бы заплатил.
Did Alan show his cards at the end of that?
I think he did.
Wow, Guerrero sees that he was bluffed. Meanwhile, Adrian Alan takes the chip lead now with 12.4 million. Guerrero down to 11.1 million.
Do you think he showed it as a favor or a needle?
Non, mais mec, si tu passes pour un con, enfin bon, c'est un record raté. Si tu le mets celui-là, c'est une légende dans tout le PT.
That bluff was sicker than the monkey from Outbreak.
Alan now up to 12.4 million, 103 big blinds. Guerrero still playing 93 bigs, second in chips, with 12 minutes left on this level.